The other day, I saw a 3-year-old playing the keyboard effortlessly. Where did this talent come from? A 3-year-old you cannot teach.
You can teach a 3-year-old a lot of things, but your question is valid. Where did he learn to play the keyboard so effortlessly at that young age? So first you need to explore whether he had formal tutoring from the age of 2 to 3, and maybe he's a fast learner and he learned it quickly and became an expert now. And if you get the answer that yes, he was tutored from the age of 2 to 3 and then he became an expert keyboard player, you have the answer. But suppose you discover that he had no formal tutoring, there is nobody in the family who plays the keyboard, there is no contact of this kid with any maestro, then where did this talent come from? So that's the obvious question. Now the answer lies in the concept of past life, which many people across the globe do not believe in.
Correct.
But we, coming from India, we are strong believers in lifetimes after lifetimes. Yeah? And the answer to this question, in case he is not tutored in this life form, lies in his previous life. So probably he was some sort of a talented, trained performer on the keyboard in his past life, and that knowledge got carried forward into this body.
Correct.
Now your next logical question would be, how does this knowledge get transferred? Right? Because this body is different.
And why is it not transferred in everyone?
We'll come to that second part later.
Okay.
So let's first understand how this knowledge got transferred. So for that you need to understand the concept of the soul. S-O-U-L, not S-O-L-E. Okay? So soul is, as we call in India, Atma.
Correct.
Which is the part of the Param Atma, Paramatma. Yeah? Paramatma is the entire knowledge in the universe, all the knowledge. And the soul is a part of that whole. And therefore the soul carries with it a part of the knowledge of the universe. In his past life, his cellular memory, his fingers, were trained through hours of practice to play the keyboard. Wait. Let me complete this before you ask the next question. Past life, okay? Whatever body he was occupying, he meaning the soul, occupying a body, that body got trained. Now for this you have to understand two concepts. One is the conscious mind and two is the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is the intellectual mind and the subconscious mind is the cellular mind. Every cell in your body has its own mind. That's why your cells can be trained. Your right hand has got trained to hold a pen and write things in the language you have learned, right? If I ask you to sign a piece of paper with your left hand, you will struggle because you are accustomed to signing that paper with your right hand. So your cells of the left hand are untrained. The cells of the right hand are trained. So this is cellular memory. Cells contain the subconscious mind. This I want all of you to understand, that cells contain the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind gets transported when this body dies. This body is either buried or burnt. The physical structure has got dismantled, destroyed, but the intellectual structure gets carried forward. It's like you have one laptop which got damaged, but all that data that you stored in that previous laptop got transferred through a pen drive into the next laptop.
Okay, got it.
Okay? So if you understand this concept of how the knowledge got transferred from one source to another, this is the mechanism. Now you say here it is pen drive. I can see it. I can physically transfer things to the pen drive. What is the mechanism from one body to another? So suppose I transfer it by Bluetooth.
Correct.
Now you don't see the pen drive.
Not at all.
But the data has got transferred. Yeah, it transferred from one physical body to another physical body through a medium which is not being seen. So what is a Bluetooth? It's a device that transfers messages from one location to another location without a physical medium. At least without a tangible physical medium. Okay?
Right.
So similarly, the knowledge acquired in this body got transferred when this body perished through the soul, which acquired another body. The premise is that you be a believer in rebirth and the cycle of birth and death. If you are a non-believer, then this logic doesn't work for you. Okay? I'm first establishing the logic that there is rebirth. Okay? Now, my cells had this talent of identifying different sounds on different keys. I'm trained. This knowledge got transported to another body which had similar cells, 5 fingers right hand, 5 fingers left hand. So that knowledge automatically got into the 5 fingers of the new body. 5 fingers, just like my data got transferred from this Microsoft Word to that Microsoft Word. Both are separately loaded programs, but my data got transferred.
Correct.
Through either Bluetooth or a pen drive. The same way, my knowledge of my past life got transferred to my next body, and that's how I became a expert at a very young age without formal training or tutoring. Right?
Right.
Do you have a next follow-up question?
Yeah, so then why doesn't it happen to everyone?
So that was your second question. Why does it happen to everyone? Everyone was not trained on keyboards. You were trained in something else. You were born with an affinity for cooking.
Correct.
So you became an excellent cook. Cooking was child's play for you. You were very comfortable in the kitchen working with your mother even as a small baby.
Okay.
So everybody carries forward a different talent. The problem with us is we don't identify our skills. And the current trends and fashions take us away from our existing skills. So suppose the current trend in the society is commerce. Everybody is becoming a chartered accountant. But I was a skillful engineer in my past life. But everybody around me is talking commerce. So I get influenced into trying commerce, which is not my core skill. My core skill came from me, from the past life to me as engineering.
Correct.
I never explored engineering because I was influenced into commerce.
So you have to
Therefore, I don't discover. Yes, exploring is an important subject. Like you explore different lands, different vistas, different terrains, you explore your inner self. What are you good at? Many students want to have careers without exploring their strengths, and then they end up choosing careers which are not their strengths, which makes them unhappy, and then they spend the next 30, 40, 50 years of their life in a profession which is not their strength. So you have invited unhappiness in your current life by not connecting to your strength.
So is there a pattern to identify your talent from past life?
Yes and no. For example, everybody in the current setup is not a master. Everybody in the current setup, the current living population, everybody is not a master. So let's take cricketers. Everybody is not Sachin Tendulkar. There are several good batsmen who are selected to represent their states, countries, and who are playing professional cricket. But you can't identify everybody as a Sachin Tendulkar.
No ways.
Right? So if a Sachin Tendulkar has to be born again in a different body, he will probably show the skills of a master batsman identified by the coaches of cricket around him at that time, that here is a prodigy. So your skill sets are not always of the master, and therefore everybody doesn't display the masterful skills which some of these prodigies display.
Correct, but you can always better your skills?
You can always enhance your skills, hone your skills by multiple practices, effort, dedication, commitment. Yeah, effort is required, dedication comes with devoting time, and you should be committed to one subject. Now you want to try certain things today and certain. I played a little bit of tennis in my school days. Then in college I switched over to table tennis. Then I went to golf, and now I'm playing professional cricket. I have wasted a lot of time. I didn't hone up skills in one particular subject. So I know a little bit of golf, I know a little bit of tennis, I know a little bit of table tennis, but I'm not at that level in anyone. And which is the case with most of us. And that's why you don't get too many masters. You don't get too many Bhims and Joshis. You get it?
Right.
You get very few. You'll get one 𝗕𝐲𝐬𝐽𝐬𝐿. There'll be several talented singers, but how many reach that pinnacle? Very few.
Maybe some don't get the chance also to reach.
Great, possible. So that skill gets toned down. What you don't practice regularly slowly diminishes.
Correct.
So in the past life, you were playing the sitar for 12 hours a day. In this life, you play the sitar occasionally once a week. Your sitar skills will diminish.
Right. So does a human being always is born as a human being, or can they become an animal or a bird?
Separate subject, separate theory. You need to learn this process. But yes, to answer your question in short, once you become a human being, you don't go back to animal kingdom.
Oh.
Theory of evolution. The universe is always progressing. Universe doesn't regress. There is always growth.
Correct.
So you have grown from a monocellular organism to a multicellular organism. You have grown from the plant kingdom to the animal kingdom. You have grown from the animal kingdom to the human kingdom. Once you have acquired the human kingdom, you will remain static. What is life? Life is consciousness. You have grown to human consciousness, which is considered the superior consciousness in all the living kingdoms. Once you have reached that superior consciousness, you will, at worst, remain at the base level.
Okay.
And at best, you can transcend beyond the human consciousness.
And what's that?
Celestial consciousness. How many Gautam Buddhas were born?
One.
How many Jesus were born?
Only one.
There you are. So those are your benchmarks. You can reach there. How many reach there? There is no time. Arey, I have got कपड़ा धोने का है, ऑफिस में जाने का है, इस्त्री करने का है. You are lost in those things. So you don't have the time to be like a Gautam Buddha or a Jesus Christ. You don't have the dedication and you don't have the commitment. सब कुछ छोड़ छाड़ के I will become a spiritually evolved soul. ये commitment है जो हमारे पास नहीं है.
It requires a lot.
It's a sacrifice. We are not ready to sacrifice. Take all the maestros. Take the Sachin Tendulkar. He sacrificed his school education. 14 hours, 15 hours a day he was on the cricket field. Are you willing to do that in the field of your choice? We are not. हम चंचल हैं, हमारा मन चंचल है. How many Hanumans do you know?
One.
How many monkeys do you know?
Loads.
Several. So we are all monkeys. Only few monkeys have the capability of becoming a Hanuman. It requires dedication, discipline, effort, time.